Thank you everyone for attending this session, and the previous session was really interesting. My talk is a little bit different, but I'm happy to answer those questions after this one. This is about unlocking key metrics and patterns using Grafana. A little about me. My name is Usman Ahmad, and I work in Grafana as a senior developer advocate. And basically, my job is to help the open source community create content or write tech blogs or tutorials, even write a lot of documentation. Recently, I think my recent one was for the GitHub plugin. And in my previous role, I've been in the tech industry for more than 15 years and a lot with the Linux support side and in the cloud support side. So love Linux. Beside work, I live in Germany. I have a small family, so I have a small daughter, so mostly father time. But beside that, I like to write. I like to write some technical content. I have a small YouTube channel, which is all about Linux and open source. So if you are someone who loves Linux and want to learn, feel free to check it out. Just scan this QR code or even just visit my GitHub repo. There is all the links you need. So let's get started. So today in this room, we are all IT folks, and our companies are mostly related to the work in the field of IT, maybe software, production, some are SRE and so. But if you look at the market, there are other areas as well where the IT sector is used, maybe in health sector or in finance, business, and office and so on. Yeah. And through those sectors, maybe a bit less or more, but not as big as the complete computing sector or IT sector. But we will find these titles there as well. Some are developers, some are designers, engineers, SRE, you name it. Like there's nothing different or the name revolves around in the same way. And what everyone in this here have something in common. So one common thing is that it's all about data. We love data because with that, we work, we see, okay, where's the problem? We try to identify it, see it, resolve it, and get to the solution. And nowadays, we are using a lot of AI. I'm not a very big fan of AI. I mean, I love it, but I still think there should be some more limitation. But now everyone is using AI and writing some cool script, connect whatever you do via Python API or so, and you're getting a lot of data. Some people are saving it in the cloud and some are saving it somewhere in system, but the most formal way is to maybe save it in a file or in a let's say called Excel sheet. So maybe raise your hand if you are using some sort of way to use Excel sheet, maybe for your software or maybe in AI. Can you raise your hand who are using a still Excel sheet? Okay, a few, that's nice. Maybe there are some softwares which you maybe use to see, like Java, if you want to see the parameters of users. I have deal with this because the result come in like a CSV file and then you have to view it, maybe use open LibreOffice, and then, that's also one way to see it. And all this data is available in Google Sheets or Excel sheet or spreadsheets. It can change the naming convention, but it's there. And I tried to search for this and I got this answer that how many people have really the knowledge of using Excel sheet or spreadsheet, you say. So it says 48% have some knowledge of Excel sheet, but not that much. So how many of you here really have direct command on Excel sheet? Can someone raise? Okay, that's good. There's one. There's two. Nice. But okay, we will jump to the part why. Okay, so, but in a real world example, if someone who knows Excel sheet might understand this, like what it is trying to say, that simply sometimes it does not work because the other side or the other user say, I put this and everything broke and because these things were wrong or so. Yeah, but in a more human way, you have no knowledge of Excel sheet, but you have to work with Excel because you see some sort of data and then your boss says hey, you know what? I learned that you can create amazing graphs and charts with Excel sheet. So do this by Monday and that will be great. So what you do? You basically do firefighting. You think I can learn this within few days or few hours. It's just a matter of time, but you are not going anywhere, right? And you can't fix the problem or fix like this. That works, but not in reality, or Yeah.
To fix that.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, what is the solution? So, what if I told you that you don't need to learn a lot about Excel sheet separately, but you can use Excel sheet with Grafana and can create amazing dashboards. And this is really easy. So, how you do it? So, how many? I am pretty sure. Raise your hand if you have used Grafana. Okay, and X expected. By the way, who's using Grafana version 10 or version 11? Okay, still, I always no surprise there because it's very interesting metrics for us. So we take that. Yeah, but so with that, keeping it very short, so Grafana is available in many flavors. It's in OSS Enterprise Cloud. Yeah, it provides many visualization formats, and you just need to connect to a data source, and then it will read the data, okay, and display it in the dashboard. And there's this plugin which is by Grafana, is called Google Sheet Data Source plugin. So it is also available in all Grafana versions. It supports various visualization formats since it is by the core part, so it is available by default. You don't need to even install or do anything. And it is very easy to set up and integrate, which you will just see. Have anyone of here in the room used this Google Sheets plugin by Grafana? Okay, so that's good. We will learn together. So how is it going to work? So in a high-level overview, you have Grafana and Google Sheet set up and running. You need an authentication mechanism. You can use Google Sheets API key, but you can also use a service account like JWT or GCE. And if you're using API key, you need at least the sheet ID. And with that, you send the request. The request is read by the Google Cloud side. And if everything is fine, you will get the data in the JSON format, and you can view in Grafana in a dashboard panel visualization. So configuring the data source, it's a two-step process, very easy. You install the Google Sheet plugin, just enable it basically because it's already there. Or you can even check it from the plugin catalog, which is inside Grafana. You don't need to use any command line tool or do any fancy stuff. Very easy. And yeah, as we say, like use the API key or use the other two mechanisms as well. Now we go to the demo. First is creating a very simple dashboard. So this is how it will look like. We assume that, okay, the plugin is there, everything is working, our API key is configured correctly. We are more interested to see like how it looks like, how the query looks like. Then we will see a little bit of transformation. And for example, in this case, we are using table panel visualization, but it's not limited to that. Okay, so it's demo time. So this is Google Sheet plugin. I hope that it is visible to the backside. Yeah. Okay, so it's just a raw data. It's old, it's fine. It makes complete sense. You can see like there are three cities, Stockholm, Berlin, Los Angeles. And this is in this case, since we are using API key, so we have to use the sheet ID, which is this one. If you are using JWT or GCP service account, you don't need the ID. You just simply use the file name, which is like average temperature or whatever you name your file. Okay. So I copy this and I go here. Okay, it messed up. It's fine. It happens in live demos. Yeah. So I will just show directly here. So yeah, I first say that I need Google Sheets, okay, as the data source. Then I paste this ID. And once I do it, I just wait and it will automatically detect as a time series data because there is time series. But we can also view it for simplicity in a table level format. So we know like, okay, this is how the data looks like. And as said that it is not limited to table or time series, you can view in any way you like, either in table, time series, you can use different visualization like bar chart, stats, gauge or so. So this is a different way to represent the same data, which makes more easy for your use case, for your understanding. So this is more like a scientific example, maybe someone who knows Kaggle website, who works a lot with Python or so, or data analytics. Yeah. Now we move a little bit in a different direction. So going back here, now we talk about a little bit of transformation. So transformation in Grafana is a very powerful way to manipulate the data. And it happens before the visualization. So it's a change which is hard change. And we will take a look how it works. There are many types of transformation available in Grafana. Today, we're going to look about something called filter data. Okay, so how it looks like. We have this data. Let me show you the Excel sheet. So this is again another random Excel sheet, but it's not really random. It's actual data, live data from our community form. So it has like ID, title, reply count, and so on. And we do the same drill that we paste the sheet ID and then it's available in Grafana panel. But we want to learn how to use the transformation. So you click on transform data, number one, and then you click on add a new transformation. And then you will see that it shows an option organize field by name. Okay. And then this is the box which we are interested. There are two fields, title and category ID. So what we want to do is that we want to rename the title as description. The default is title, but the Excel sheet or spreadsheet, and rename it. And second is that we want to hide the category ID field. We are not interested because it is not our use case. So we just small click and hide it. And then what will happen that the changes will appear here. Okay. Yeah. So this is how it looks like in real, that this was the raw data, but after applying this transformation, you can see in this one that now it shows description here after category ID, and there is no category ID, I believe. Yeah, no category ID, only status, or we can rename further like current status and so on. Okay, so yeah, that's how the transformation works. And now we will go to the panel configuration. So now we go a little bit more advanced, like how we can further learn and use it more efficiently. So the green box is done. Now panel configuration in Grafana gives you more option, more authority to customize the data you want to look or feel. For example, there are ways you can use value mapping, data links, cell config, and there's also a small gray box of override. Now override is very same as transformation, except that override happens after the data, after the visualization appears in the JSON. So override is soft change, while the transformation is still hard change. This is more interested for someone who is with like more in the development side, but yeah, but it's good info still. And one thing which you may notice that the cell config box is in green, same as the table panel visualization. Why? Because there are some panel options which are specific to a plugin. It may not be the same case if I may use time series panel visualization, then there might be something else instead of cell config, because cell config does not available in time series panel. So yeah. Now we will learn about the Grafana override. So yeah, it allows you to customize your data, specific field or series, we just talk, and yeah, let you define more options. So again, we have this same data, and the first one we want to learn is the cell type. So we have this data, and we are more interested in the last column, which says solved, unsolved. So the current status field. So in demo, what I will do is that I'm here, and just bear with me because my laptop is having some issues. So the resolution looks not very cool, but I will select field with name. Okay. And then I will just type current status. Yeah, current status. Okay. And then I will add a property and cell option cell type. And then I will change from this auto to colored background. Now this looks all green. Not good, but still very much better than all the gray and white, because now it is visible. And this is the purpose of like when you use a monitoring or visualization, you want to see the color so that your eyes can catch it. So this is step one. And we will come back to later, like how we can further improve it. So that's the one way of using override function. The other is using the data links. Data links, it says like you can link our data to a particular field. In this case, we are interested to link this with topic ID. So the topic ID, remember that in the Excel sheet, we have this data which was numeric fields like ID. So these are from our community form. So what we are doing is that we use this topic ID and select the data link in the override option. And then this pop-up box will open and we say, okay, this is our actual URL. And just like any programming, you place a variable, say a $sign, and link this topic ID with that. And okay, in the end, we have like open a new tab. But what will this do is that now all those fields are clickable. So you don't need to do any static work. All these are linkable. You can just go in your Grafana dashboard, click it, and it will open the new window. Imagine if you have similar data of a GitHub repo, like you have issues ID and so on, you can simply export here and do this as well. So this is a really powerful feature. And then we have value mapping. Value mapping, as the name says, you want to map a value to something like, if it is true, then it says like all fine. If it is false, like something is wrong or burning, check the server and so on. So this is also available. In this case, we are using value mapping not as override, but in the general settings. So we go in the table options and we see value mapping and we click add value mapping. Okay. And keeping the same Excel sheet example, we define the condition. So we say any value which says unsolved, display as text also unsolved, but we can say pending or need attention, so on. But change the color from green to red. So now this looks more visible, more attractive, more eye-catching, easy to identify, okay, where is the problem? Because now we have the complete data. We have the link. We know this is about the community issues. Some are solved, some are unsolved. Which are solved, we need to check it. So this is a great way to view it. Now the last but not least is the dynamic dashboard variable. So this is something in Grafana world also known as templating. And it allows you to create interactive and dynamic dashboards. And yeah, it avoids the duplication of creating again and again the same thing with a small change. So there are many dashboard variables available. And today we're going to learn about the custom one. So custom means that you have the authority to design what you want to view. Okay. So this is now a very cool example. Now we don't have any scientific data. Imagine this is some data maybe from a ticketing system where it tells performance or maybe of like how the staging system is doing, product and dev. And there's a lot of information, but it's scattered around. Even there's like a bit in between at the column E, like there's an empty space. Now this is a challenge, like how we can view this in a Grafana dashboard. Okay, so here's an example. Okay. So I will come to this a bit later, like how the final result look like this. So first thing is that we want to create a dashboard variable. So we go here in edit, settings, and then we click on variables. And let's take a look at this variable name as sheet var. Okay, so the variable type is custom. We give it some name, like a logical name. Okay, we say a sheet var and give it a label. And then we define the custom options. So basically, these are comma separated values. What we are doing here is that you have this data and you define this range. So you say that from A2 to D14, let's call it something like, or E15, we call it like incident total. From that to that, from column I to M15, we name it as mean time to resolve and so on. Once you've done this, you can see this, okay, this is how the preview looks like. Now you have this. And then what you will do is that if you go back here, you can see this sheet var variable. And now we have this data. So if I select some, say like, okay, it was mean time to acknowledge or mean seconds to acknowledge, I want to see the incident total. Now this is different. We are using the dynamic dashboard templating to view this dashboard dynamically. We don't need to create 3 different dashboards. We are using single one. And this is how we are viewing. And if we even, for example, change it to this one, the results are different. And yeah, there is also one thing called annotation. Annotation is something like, for example, if you are reading a book and you say, okay, this line is very interesting, I should highlight it with a marker or so that I don't forget. So exactly the same concept apply in Grafana dashboard. You can annotate your dashboard and put some labels. So this blue line which you see here is annotation. So you can also add here. Yeah. So this is just a demo, but it works that way as well. And you can even put description and text. So yeah, okay, test just for now. And this is how, and then you imagine, okay, this is really cool how this is all of this working. So we are using this value sheet var here in the parameter in the range. So we are giving this in the range. So that's why this is how it is loading all the dashboards. So this is really cool. We just talk about annotations. So this is, no need to repeat it again. And we even saw the demo. Now, the final takeaways. The first thing is this centralized visibility. Now you are not dependent on like, okay, I need someone who's expert with the Excel sheet or Google sheet, and I need to go and see it. No, you can even view all this data on your machine. You just need access to Grafana and create a simple, because these are very safe to create. These are only read-only. You don't need to edit, so nothing will break. This is also good. So fits well in your organization. So when I asked this question, how many of you know Excel sheet or learn Google Sheet properly, there was a few hands. But why not all of you raise? Because I am also not interested to learn a lot about Excel sheets or so. But instead, I will love to learn some tool which fits in my organization well, for example, Grafana, because this is used in my daily life for monitoring and visualization, other stuff from Prometheus to GitHub to even Google Sheet. So I say, this is a tool which can do a lot of things. So I spend my time in polishing my skills in this one rather than polishing something like which is only one specific use case. This is perfect example, like where you want to spend your energy and effort, and cross-platform supported. So there's the Google Sheets are on the cloud, but if you want to use Grafana, you can use it anywhere. You can even run Grafana on your Kubernetes cluster or Docker, even on your Raspberry Pi, you name it. You don't need to say, okay, it works on limited areas or so. No, it's already cross-platform on Windows or on Linux. So future improvement. So support for alerting is something our engineering team is working currently. When you define a sheet and you want to say like if some values change, you want to get an alert, this is something we are working on. So this is something work in progress, and definitely support from you. I see that not many of you know about this plugin. We would like to have you use it, maybe report on issues, because it's all open source. You don't need to pay anything. You can use it for free, and we will be happy to get more improved feedbacks from your side. And if you want to get involved, definitely check the GitHub repo where you can report bugs and feature requests. For learning resources, definitely check the Slack channel. And I highly recommend to at least join the Grafana community forum, because it's a library of information where you can learn a lot and even ask questions. So before Grafana, I was also like, I don't know how to do any such fancy stuff for creating graphs or pie charts with Excel sheet, but now I have some mastery as well. So thanks for participating. I leave all the useful links and even a small video if you scan this QR code that is available on my GitHub repo. And feel free to reach me. I'm happy to answer any questions even here and afterwards as well. So that's all from my side.
Any questions?
I don't know if I understand correctly, but the authentication was via an API key in the Grafana site. But what if I have a sheet in Google that is only allowed to be seen by some users of some groups? I have set permissions for that. Can I use the Google authentication mechanism to only make the information viewable by viewers from Grafana that have the valid credentials in Google?
Yeah, you can do that. So basically, in the case of API key, you have to really expose your file. This is just for the demo purpose, but it also works if there's no secret information in that file. But if you have something and you want that limited users view, so that's why I mentioned specifically that there are two other mechanisms for authentication we can use. Plus, on Grafana side, you have full IAM access, like you can define roles and permissions, so that not only, maybe for example, you want someone that person can view it, but not even able to go in the edit mode and see the details. You can also block that as well. So that is possible.
Right. One more question. Just a reminder from the previous talk, if you can give some insights about like doing it as a code or any progress in that sense.
Okay, so we are making some progress on the Grafana as code or the dashboard as code. So basically we introduce a new tool called Grizzly. Grizzly is only dedicated for the like making this life easier for importing, exporting dashboard panels. So please check it out. This is something we done after the dashboard as code part, because this was a new project yes, there were a lot of learning curve. I say definitely it was not that easy to use dashboard as code that well. So Grizzly is the new, more improved version, because I believe they have even made like a UI version for it. So it's like give you more flexibility, like what you want to do in terms of like importing and exporting the dashboards.